Hey guys, how you doing? It is me, Masood, the CEO of H2 Enterprises, back with another video. How you guys doing? Today we're going to be doing a social media deep dive. Finally, they're back on Tumblr. Now, Tumblr is a social media site that started in 2007. It was originally started for bloggers and writers who wanted to obviously write their own blog and share their stories on a daily and consistent basis. So it was originally made for that type of audience, that sub audience, that demographic. And over the course of the years, it had relatively great success. In fact, in the first 2 weeks of them launching, they had over 75,000 users on the system. So within 2 weeks of them launching in 2007, they had almost 100,000 users on their system registered. So it's a social media that had a lot of success early on, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. But I think in the back end of the last couple of years, it has dropped down. In fact, in 2013, Business Insider actually did a report on them, and they did drop their users significantly from 300 million users down to 30 to 50 million users actively on Tumblr. And that number could be significantly less now, because that article was written in 2013. It's now 2019. We're looking probably around 20 million users max, 25 million users max on Tumblr, a social media platform that originally boasted over 250 million users on their social network, but now boasts a measly 25 million, if that, on their social network. So we're going to do a deep dive on their social media, what they're currently doing. In fact, also I'm going to give my take, my strategy on what I would do if I was like one of the marketing guys there, or if they wanted to sign on H2 Enterprises for a little project. You never know. Then this is how I would approach it. And just to let you know that this is a very rough idea, I will be doing a follow up on this video where I go through the exact creative, how I would do certain things. But this is just an overview of this is the overview of the strategy on what can potentially take place, as far as, if I was to work on it. So let's get into it. Okay, so this is the Tumblr, if I can spell it right, Tumblr case study. Okay, so I've already analyzed Tumblr a little bit before this video, and I've come up with some good points and some bad points. So the good points is that they've got a dedicated niche following that they've originally had from the beginning. Now this is my grammar is not the best, but it's fine. So the good point is that they've had a niche following, a targeted following that they've originally captured and pretty much retained from the beginning. It's a blogging social media platform, and is specifically made for people to just put anything on there, like whatever they're feeling, express themselves and everything like that. So they've allowed for expression on their site, and that has stayed consistent. So that's key. Consistency, especially in this day and age, is very key, especially to social media success. You can't have a great piece of video and then release something 6 months later and expect it to have the same impact. It's just not going to happen. You have to stay consistent, and they've had a great run of targeting a niche following, which is the bloggers, which are writers, and different written creatives that are like in that field, and they've allowed them to express themselves and stay true to their message since 2007. Now, I don't know if this is a good point or a bad point, but along with their consistency, let's highlight that, they haven't, let's write this in capitals, they haven't changed anything in the last 10 years. Now, I don't know if that's good or bad. Good, bad. You don't know, basically, because yes, it's consistent. Yes, it follows trend. Yes, it follows suit with what they're doing. But with all the other social networks around them changing and adapting their original communication strategy, for example, Facebook, he started off with a place for Harvard students to kind of socialize and relate to. They expanded, of course, overseas, and now they're more so competing with the likes of YouTube to have their say on the dominant social media in culture. That's one example, but there's been others. New forms of social media have popped up and almost taken the blogging reign out of Tumblr. Instagram is one. Instagram is a very good social media site, but it started off as a place for photographers to post their work for portfolio purposes, and recently it's transitioned into a blogging site. Technically, Instagram is a blog. People do blog on there. People blog their daily lives. People post every single day, and that is blogging. You're documenting your life, and blogging is a form of documentation. So there has been competition coming up for Tumblr's reign for the blogging title. The bad things I picked up, bad points. This is a great transition into the bad points that I've picked up is that no one cares about it. No one cares about Tumblr. Literally no one. They're not in the conversation for the best conversation for the top sites in culture. Yeah, so no one cares about them. No one cares about Tumblr. No one gives a rat's ass about Tumblr. What's going on? What are they doing right now? No one cares. And that in turn has led them to not be in the conversation for the top sites in culture. And that's an issue, because if you want to move forward, especially in this day and age, you need to adapt. And that's with business in general. You have to learn how to adapt. If you don't know how to adapt, if you don't adapt, then you're just going to be left behind with all the has-been social media sites. I mean, Bebo, MySpace. MySpace was big. Imagine how huge was MySpace, and they just didn't adapt. And they tried to have a revamp with Pharrell Williams and everything, and they completely failed. I think that is what's happening right now with Tumblr, and that's probably what's already happened. But this is not a dig on them. This is just an understanding of where they can go from where they are. So let's carry on with that. So the good point, just to follow through the case study, is that they got a niche following. They've allowed people to express themselves on their site, and they've stayed consistent. But in terms of staying consistent, they haven't changed anything in the last 10 years, which is good or bad. I don't know. That's opinion. My thing. I think that's very bad, to be honest with you. Their bad points is that no one cares about Tumblr, to be honest with you, and they're not in the conversation for the top sites in culture. So what is the conclusion? Well, I don't care how it's spelled, to be honest with you. You know what I mean. What is the conclusion? The conclusion is that they may not care really with where they are. They might not care, to be honest with you. They probably do not care, because running a social media, running any site that has that much success in the beginning, and if you're so invested in it, you would know where the the shift in culture is within the organization, and they must know that, okay, fair enough, we're not the big players anymore. In fact, we've dropped over 200 million users in the last couple years. We know we're not the big players anymore. So we're just going to stick to who we know. We're just going to stick to the bloggers, the people that liked us from the beginning. We're just going to stick to them and give them the best support that we can. So the conclusion out of the two bad points and good points is that they just probably don't care. They do not give a shit with where they're at. They don't really care. They just like going along at their steady pace, and they just want to keep at that stage. It just looks like the case, and they're not really having a significant push in a direction to where they want to come back in the conversation. So that's all good, but let's start with my strategy now. My strategy. What I would do diff. Yeah, so basically I want to change that conversation. My goal is to get them back in the conversation. Like, they don't have to be the best site. Let's be honest. They're not going to be the best site. There's other sites that are better than Tumblr. But at least give them back in the conversation of the top social media sites. You know what I'm saying? Back in the conversation of the top social media sites. I'm so tired right now. I just can't even see anything. How are we doing on time? That's good. Yeah, so goal is to get them back in the conversation of the top social media sites. And have active users, have more users. How many more? I'm thinking 100 million. They're currently at 30 or 25. They can get 100 million users easy with what I'm about to say next. Not easy. Let me take that back. It's not going to be easy. But Einstein said it the best. Einstein said the true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. The true definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, you're not gonna get the 100 million users by the current strategy with what they're doing. It's not gonna happen. But it may happen with a different strategy, with fresh eyes, with a fresh outlook, with young people working, with a different approach. It may happen. It may not. It may not. But at the end of the day, you're gonna get a reaction to differently from what you're doing right now. So I think the goal is attainable with what I'm about to say next. Gary Vaynerchuk, someone who I religiously follow, said that influencer marketing is so underpriced, it's ridiculous. Humans do not know how to price themselves. So take advantage of that. Influencer marketing. How they're going to get to 100 million? Well, they're going to use this. They're going to use influencer marketing, and they're going to use a whole lot of it. Yeah? So this is the next chapter. They're going to use influencer marketing. And what they're going to do what they're going to do with influencer marketing. They are going to pick the top 100 to 500 most followed people on Instagram or Facebook or wherever, but just look at other social medias and look at the most influential people across all the platforms. They're going to pick the top 100 to 500 people, and they're going to sign a contract with them for 2 years plus. That's minimum. They're going to sign a contract for 2 years minimum. Yeah. And the objective of the partnership is to do what? Is to get people using, sharing, creating content on Tumblr. That is the objective of the partnership. That is the objective of this strategy. That is what they're going to try and do. That is what they're going to try and do for the next 2 years plus minimum. Because they need attention. They are craving attention. They are starving for attention on their site. It needs some attention. It needs people to give a shit about them. Like, no one cares about Tumblr right now. People have to start caring. And how they're going to do that is by other people's recommendations. If you ever seen an advert and cold, if this advert is targeting you cold, you may not care about it that much, depending on how good their creative and their message is. But if your best friend that you trust, that you love, that you care for so deeply recommends you this product, you're more likely to listen to him than the actual advertisement. Listen to that. The reason why influencer marketing works is because these big accounts, these big people have a dedicated, core, loyal following that religiously consumes the content on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and they're willing to go through fire for them with whatever they post. Now, depending on how much adverts one influencer has already made on their social media will depend on the results. Now, if you take someone who has posted adverts left, right, and center, the advert is not going to be that effective. However, if you target people that have not advertised as much or haven't monetized their audience as much, then there's going to be a significantly positive response, depending how good your creative and your advertising is. So moral of the story is people buy from people. Reason why influencer marketing works, and it's worked for me in the past, it's going to work for any other business guaranteed, is that people buy from people. People trust people. If you have a follower, if you like someone, if you, for example, I love Gary Vee. I'm thinking of buying his K-Swiss trainers. K-Swiss trainers. K-Swiss. K-Swiss is not in the question of hype or cool, but because it's associated with the name of Gary Vee, I'm going to buy his Clouds and Dirt trainers for $300, for $500, for $1,000 because I love Gary Vee. Now the same thing, Tumblr is not cool. Tumblr is not in the conversation. It's not like Facebook. It's not like Instagram. K-Swiss is not like Nike. It's not like Adidas. It's not like Puma. You know? It's K-Swiss, and Tumblr's Tumblr. Tumblr is dead. Tumblr, no one cares about Tumblr. So you want to have people care, and how you're going to do that is by target and have them have influential people with core loyal followings that their fans love and adore and will die for them. Promote your site, and that's it. That's it. That's what they should do. They should focus on influencer marketing for the next 2 years minimum. And their goal is to grow from 25 mil to 100 mil. I think they can achieve that goal in under 2 years. They can achieve this in under 2 years. Easily. You've got 100 to 500, the top most influential people promoting Tumblr on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. You're going to get 100 million users like that. So what goes from there is that, they can introduce how they're going to make money, how they're going to monetize it. They can introduce a ad system, an ad system, because the more attention they have on the page, advertisers would be interested to monetize that audience. They got so much data, so much consumer data, they'll be willing to look to monetize that audience. And the best thing would be to introduce an ad system some way similar to Facebook, similar to LinkedIn, similar to YouTube, similar to Instagram, where they're using maybe copy specific ads, because it's a blogging site, you know. Maybe if video does well, but you don't know, video might do better on Facebook and YouTube. 100% it does, because they're video specific ads, they're video specific sites. So a video specific ad may do better on those type of platforms. However, maybe, I don't know, they could try out written only ads. Listen, the conversion rate may be crap, disgusting, it may suck, but it's worth a try. And follow that up with video ads as well. They could offer the both. You know, it could be a different thing. It could be different. So they should introduce an ad system for bigger brands to monetize the audiences and show them adverts that, you know, they would like to see if they're on that particular platform. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. There's more to it, but my battery, I'm going to be honest with you, is going to die. So I don't really want to risk that and break up the momentum that I've got going on. But I appreciate you watching nevertheless. For some reason, I'm full of energy again. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. I really do hope you guys come back. Let me just stop recording this. I really do hope that you guys enjoy this and taken value from it in any which way you can. Make sure you follow my Instagram, which is at HQ Enterprises. It's all in the description box below. And make sure you subscribe if you like this video. Like, share, comment, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so you're updated whenever I have a new upload coming up. I'm going to be uploading every single week. I'm trying to do it every day, but again, it's baby steps. I'm definitely uploading daily on my Instagram, so make sure you follow that. And listen, build the hype, help a brother out. I'm giving you so much quality knowledge going into these social media deep dives. It would be great if you just give me a follow. That'd be great. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate you guys coming back, and peace.